Hey everybody, this is Ed from the Whiskey Tangent Podcast, here with another Whiskey Short. And as always, I'm here with Scott.
Hey everybody.
And joining us today, we have Gabe.
Good evening, friends.
And Drea.
Hey.
One of the ladies. The first lady to ever appear on a short by herself.
So we are going to do the fourth and final installment of our Infinity Bottle series. We feel we've done it to death, but this time it's personal.
Whiskey Short.
So the first one we did, our first Infinity Bottle, we explained where the concept came from. It was super successful. We loved what we did to it.
Yep.
So the Infinity Bottle, if you're listening for the first time, is just you pour whatever leftover whiskey you have from whatever bottle into a new bottle. And then you just keep doing that. And over time, you fill up the bottle and now you have an Infinity Bottle. You could curate it like Ed and I did for this episode, or you could do what Gabe did and what we all did previously is just pour in whatever and whatever happens, happens.
Right. We had certain parameters. We poured the same amount of each one, and
Yes.
we didn't add smoky scotches. We kept it at bourbon rye.
Yep.
Gabe did an Infinity Bottle of just Irish whiskeys and kept
did.
it only Irish. So at the end of the day, it was whatever we had 3 ounces left of, we poured into the bottle.
Yeah. So the first one we're going to do is Gabe's. Gabe has inserted 22 line items for this Infinity Bottle. 19 new ones, 3 which were previous Infinity Bottles. So we calculated it and a total of at least some portion of 87 whiskeys.
Crazy. It's
a
crazy.
monster.
It's 1.75 liter bottle of Bullet with about 2 inches from the top.
Yeah.
Of everything he's drank the last year.
Yeah. And Gabe's going to read down the list of all 22.
All right, sit back, friends. It's going to take a while.
Pour a dram and relax.
All right, so we started off, like with most Infinity bottles, you want to use a little bit from the last one and
Right.
keep it going. So
That's how it's Infinity.
all these are 3 ounces, like Scott said. First off, I started with Scott and Ed's third Infinity bottle.
Which I should say contains small parts of our second and our first Infinity bottles.
Yes.
And I also added my first Infinity bottle and my second Infinity bottle.
And that gave us, by the way, 65 whiskeys. And those 9 ounces of whiskey. But go ahead.
So yeah, from then on, I went to Whistle Pig, Pickleback. Whistle. Suddenly I'm channeling Ed.
Yeah.
Whistle Pig, Piggyback, 6-year, 100% rye.
You can channel me down your throat if you want.
Wow.
Wow. And there's the first edit.
Wow. No, that's staying in. That
good.
podcast gold.
Channel that.
This is supposed to be a short, isn't it?
Not with me, it would be a long.
Okay, then we went with Old Tub Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, Henry McKenna 10-year single barrel bottled in bond, George Dickel 11-year bottled in bond, Sazerac Rye Straight Rye Whiskey,
Delicious.
New Riff single barrel sour mash bourbon, Pure Kentucky XO Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey small batch, Hirsch the Horizon Straight Bourbon Whiskey, Noble Oak Double Oaked Bourbon finished in Sherry Oak Stave casks.
Wow.
LH Sandy barrel number 1, a straight rye whiskey from Benash, Old Overholt bottled in bond, Blanton's original single barrel whiskey. Balcones, Texas single malt whiskey, Willett's straight rye, Amador Whiskey Company double barrel finished in Chardonnay wine barrels, Evan Williams bottled in bond, Whistle Pig single barrel rye 10-year,
Okay.
Smoke Wagon straight bourbon whiskey, and to finish it off, I went with Corsair dark rye pot distilled small batch.
Wow.
And the proofing, we rounded up to basically it was 98.6.
Yeah, 98.6. So,
It's got some heat.
yeah, so I also did the mash bill. Some of them, we don't have the exact ones, but this is approximate. And so if we round up, this is just a bourbon at 51% corn, 31% rye, 17% barley, and just a tiny bit of wheat, 0.6.
It's actually a high rye bourbon.
It is. So I can't wait to taste it.
Let's
There's a
smell it.
lot of really good things in this.
I'm going to take on a nose here.
It's funny. It's not as complex on the nose as you would think it would be.
I can smell all the rye.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely coming off as high rye.
Yeah.
What do you get, if anything, Dre?
It was sweet at first, and then it gives you that phenomenal burn down your, where does it go? Your esophagus or something?
Your palate.
Sure.
She's just smelling it, too. Wait till she drinks
Yeah,
it.
wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's real sweet to begin with, and it gives you like a burning in your heart, just like every relationship I've ever had.
It is a little alcoholic on the nose. Very rye spice forward, dark fruits.
Yeah, a lot of sweet there, a lot of lingering heat. It does come off highly alcoholic on the nose.
Yeah.
Let's taste it.
This is really good.
It is unbelievably smooth
Yes.
for everything that's in it. It's not that it's not complex, but it's not unblended. It tastes like they made it to drink.
Bit of smoke, a little heat.
Yeah, there is a little bit of smoke. That's kind of what I'm tasting.
Damn, this is so good, Gabe.
Like leathery
My
almost.
lips are burning.
Yeah. That's the 98.6 proof right there.
So it's interesting. I'm looking at your numbers over here. So more you add, the proof can drop.
So yeah, you can absolutely, by what you put in, like the last 3 or 4 you put in, you can either make it go up or down.
Yeah, it's interesting.
So I've added some water.
Yeah, we did too.
It mellowed it quite a bit with the 3 drops.
You can taste much more of the corn now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it tastes way more than 51%, I've said. But the rye is right there at the end, like
Yeah.
just waiting for you.
It's a very dry finish, I
I was
find.
just going to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it hits you hard, burns off quick.
Yeah. So much pepper on the lips.
Yeah, it's spicy.
And the tip of the tongue.
Yeah,
very
it's,
spicy.
It's holding on.
Yeah, the spice really came out.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely getting like baking spices and herbaceousness and a little touch of mint and definitely some leather on the
Yeah.
finish at all. And
I
it's
still get the
very-
leather too.
Yeah, and
And
then you
like
say that.
the
yes.
dry finish, but definitely corn and vanilla. I mean, and then pepper spice from the rye. I can feel it.
It's so interesting. That's what's so much fun about this, because you couldn't have possibly guessed that this combination would have tasted like this. Mm-hmm. You mixed this a while ago too. You've had this for a couple of months.
It's been at least 6 or 8 months. It's been
Yeah,
probably-
so they've been sitting in the bottle, getting to know each other. Hey, what's going on?
Hey, what's your proof?
I'm from Texas. How you doing?
What's your mash bill? It's like your zodiac sign.
Proprietary, shut up. None of your fucking
Yeah, no,
business.
yeah.
Go away.
Proprietary. Right. It's a snobby elitist in the corner. Like, I'm proprietary.
I'm not talking to you.
NYFB, not your fucking business, bitch. All right. So I think we are going to do Ed's next.
Yeah, we'll
All
do
right.
mine. We're going to flip a coin, but I said, you know what? I feel like mine's not going to be the best one, so I don't want to be the
I
end
think
one.
that was Scott speaking to you. Are you not hearing voices? This guy over here is on your right.
I gave him the Jedi mind trick. You will do yours second. All right. We're going to clean glasses and pour Ed's infinity bottle. We'll be right
Clean
back.
glasses, white bastard. We'll be right back.
Woo, hey, whiskey. Okay, so we're back, and Ed's going to read down the list of the whiskeys he put in his curated infinity bottle.
Right. So I had 14 whiskeys, no infinity bottles. This was starting from scratch.
Right.
I used a bullet rye bottle just like Gabe. I used 4 ounces because since I was going to be trying it along the way to see how things went with it, I wanted to have a little bit more.
Right.
So I started with bullet rye. Then I used the New Riff single barrel strength. I used Kinsey Zinfandel finish bourbon, the Elijah Craig, my go-to. Weller Special Reserve, Davies County, single barrel whiskey, George Remus, single barrel whiskey. From our friends at Benash, Weeder number 3, weeded bourbon, barrel strength. I also had the McKenna 10-year bottle and bond.
Nice.
The Jim Beam bonded, the Bullet 10-year, the Bullet barrel strength.
Ooh, a lot of bullet.
Yeah, I wanted a little more proofage, so I threw the barrel, even though it's the exact same mash bill for those two.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
Blue Note Unfiltered, Juke Joint Whiskey, and I finished up with the Rebel Distillers Collection Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey at 113 proof. Ones that didn't work for me, the Old Scout, Smoke Wagon, Small Batch, Jim Beam Single Barrel, which the bonded worked, this didn't work. I don't know why, that just didn't. And the Koval didn't work. And finally, the Lucky 7 12-year, which is delicious by itself, did not work in this for me.
When you say didn't work, did you try them?
Yeah. So I took a little tiny splash of what I had for the infinity bottle, and then I drank that. And while it was still fresh in my mouth, I took a sip of the whiskey, and I didn't like the way they mixed.
So can you articulate what the flavor profile that you were trying to aim for?
Yeah, I was trying to go for a very good 100 proof bourbon.
Okay.
I wanted a bourbon mash bill. I wanted it to be high corn. Something that celebrates my favorite drinking whiskey profile, which is like around somewhere between a 65 and a 70% corn.
Yep.
With some rye, though I do like some weeders.
Yeah. You almost made it.
Yeah.
64.3 I have of the corn,
Yeah.
20.8 of the rye, 7.1 of barley, and 6.4 of wheat, coming in at 99 proof even.
Yeah. Right. So that was the plan, but I didn't let that get in the way of me curating what I thought I tasted. So,
Right. It's about the taste.
So it's almost 100 proof, which is the hottest one of the three,
is.
which is funny because Scott likes proof more than I do. Mm-hmm. But it's definitely the most bourbon forward of the group.
It is.
And so let's take a smell.
It's it's not as alcoholic on the nose as Gabe's was.
Yeah.
Right. And yet it's higher proof. And it's always fascinating.
It is fascinating.
It's initially sweet. I got a very faint milk chocolate going on.
Oh,
Nice.
very
I mean,
nice.
right. Once you get past, it's very corn and vanilla. I mean, it's such traditional bourbon profile on it.
I'm getting a savory note, though, similar to the leather that I smelled on Gabe's, but not quite as pronounced.
Yeah.
From the nose, it does smell like a traditional bourbon.
All right. Let's taste it. I said it because Jay was already gunning it.
Ooh. Now I'm tasting sort of milk chocolate that Gabe said on the nose. I'm
Wow.
tasting on the finish.
It's way more complex than it smelled.
Yes.
A lot of wild cherry.
Man.
It goes in sweet and then it holds with a lot of heat
Yeah.
in the top of your mouth.
Play that funky music, white boy.
Wow.
Isn't that wild cherry?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yes.
I'm getting a little bit of an orange zest on the finish.
Right. There is a little bitterness.
Yeah.
Not unpleasant, though.
No.
I definitely am tasting that little bit of milk chocolate.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever tasted that pronounced before.
Yeah.
Yeah, now
It's really nice.
I put a couple drops of water in there and it mellowed it and it brought more citrus up.
Yeah. You want some-
Oh, yeah,
want some
yeah,
water?
yeah.
Yeah.
Put some water in. Yeah.
I like it, Trey. Trey's got more drink than I do.
I'm getting a medicinal wild cherry cough medicine sting to it. Not
Very
bad,
good.
though.
I'm the
bad.
person who always
Not
gets a cherry, and I'm not getting it.
It's pretty hard to make that not bad, Gabe. You're like, it's like tastes like medicine, like when you're a child and you're sad, but not in a bad way.
And
Like,
sick and not feeling well.
it's like child abuse, but not in a bad way.
You puked in your sheets, and then you touched it.
But in a good way.
I want to know what Dre thinks. Enough of you, Gabe.
Wow.
I'll tell you when it's enough.
Wow.
Little bitch.
Little bitch.
That wasn't me, by the way. That was Scott.
And me.
I'll-
We all did
We
it.
harmonied.
I'll bring mine later.
Bring it.
I feel like it's always here, Gabe. It's always here.
That's because you're here, Ed.
So, Scott, what do you think? Finish up on it.
I really like it.
yeah.
I'm not quite sure it's exactly what you were going for, but that's okay because even when you're trying to curate it,
Yeah.
it's a little bit of a crapshoot because after you think you've finished it,
Yeah.
it's going to sit in the bottle and it's going to marry, it's going to mix. And-
Absolutely.
Don't get married.
yeah, yeah.
Noted.
Noted.
No, Drea, don't get married.
Right.
But like I was saying, I had tasted a little bit of the milk chocolate. I don't taste the cherries, so I'm a little disappointed with that. There's
Yeah.
a nice little bitterness at the end, as we said. Corn, vanilla, spices,
Yeah.
creamy. It's quite good.
Yeah. I'm surprised. It's better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
And I can't complain.
I was going to try not to say the thing I always say.
Oily, mouthfeel.
Yes, that. I was looking up different things to say. It's got a viscosity.
Yeah.
Definitely leaves a little flavor on the tongue for later, you know?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Definitely. And
It
like,
gets in the pores.
and you notice that it's like a little thicker than maybe Gabe's was?
Yeah.
Like, you notice
Yeah.
that?
Mhm. But it still went down pretty smooth, though.
A little thicker.
Really?
It's a little thicker than
Really?
Gabe's and went down smooth.
Wow. Okay. I had a lot more in my bottle.
You did. You had a lot more. No one can deny that, Gabe.
I always do.
Gabe's a big comer.
Oh, my God.
And we'll be right back.
I'm more of the second coming. So, all right. So
Jesus.
we're gonna take a
It's harder
Off
for
the
women.
rails already.
Already off the rails.
we're gonna take a break, wash the glasses, and we'll come to Scott's Infinity Bottle. This time it's personal.
Hey guys, welcome back. We're about to drink some of Scott's Infinity Bottle. Why don't you tell us about it a little bit?
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Drea. I will. So the taste profile that I was going for here, and I've mentioned on the podcast before that I like spicy cherry candy. So that's the kind of profile I went for. Who knows if I achieved it, but here are the whiskeys that I put in it. Journeyman Last Feather Rye, Whistle Pig Piggyback Rye, 6 year, Evan Williams Bottled and Bond, Heaven Hill Bottled and Bond, Crown Royal XO Canadian Whiskey,
Nice.
Corsair Dark Rye, just to change things up, the Bren Single Malt French Whiskey. This is how far it goes back. Michter's Straight Rye,
Nice.
the Michter's American Whiskey,
Nice.
and the Rebel 100 Bourbon.
So you only had 10 whiskeys.
I only have 10 whiskeys.
Ooh, very interesting.
Here's the mash bill. 29.6% corn, 46% rye, 17.9% barley, 6% wheat, and a proof of 90 even.
Wow.
Pretty light for me.
Low proof doesn't really mean it's going to be any less flavorful.
Let's take a sniff of it.
Corn, spice.
Yeah. I mean, I am smelling a little bit of cherry very lately.
We get to say that.
Well, I know.
Okay.
Well,
You're
I'm
trying-
right.
You're
I
influencing,
curated
you're
it.
influencing the crowd.
Okay. Cherry, 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 cherry.
I smell sauerkraut and sadness.
You're going to smell my anal crack soon.
Random belligerence. Smell my anal crack edition.
Oh my God. That was so loud. Sorry.
Damn. You anal cracked in my ear. So loud.
I am getting a cherry. This is probably going to sound strange, but I'm
And
getting,
ass kissing.
Anal kissing.
you know, Ed. I'm getting,
So you're going to get my crack, Ed, but Gabe's going to get the cheek.
Oh.
It's very nice.
Is that really? Is that really a step up that much? I mean,
that's
I
better.
guess if that's the menu, yeah. But holy crap, that's a terrible menu.
It's a shitty menu.
Oh God.
All right, Gabe, continue.
I know it's probably showing my age, but when we were kids, we had the cherry Kool-Aid that you put the powder in and you put it in the water and
Yes.
stir it up. I'm getting that powder before you put it in the water and dilute it.
Sure.
Chemically cherry, but it's still a cherry taste.
I think
smell.
that most of us grew up with Kool-Aid. And I'm not even being snarky.
yeah.
It's not. Like, I mean, I think most people have at one point had some.
Well, we couldn't afford it.
I think the Jello. I think homemade Jello was the same way. That same type of powder you'd use.
Go on with your richness.
There's a tear in Gabe's eye.
We had to buy Weilers.
It's from smelling the whiskey.
Weilers.
Couldn't afford Kool-Aid.
Oh my God. All right, let's taste it.
I mean,
Wow.
all three are completely different, and they're all good. This is really good. I get cherries.
Yep.
I definitely get cherries now that I took a full sip of it. Mm-hmm. Pretty strong.
Yeah, it's really sweet.
a lot of rind citrus.
There is a little bit of the rind bitterness in this.
It tastes more like a bourbon than you would think, being such a low corn. But there's definitely a bourbon start to it, and then it just goes all rye at that point
Yeah,
to me.
yeah.
It just rye explodes everywhere. I don't know
rye
if that was-
exploding.
I don't know if that was ecstasy or like food poisoning. I'm not sure what caused that noise.
It can be both.
Getting a lot of leather too. A lot of brand new baseball mitt in the springtime. First day out, and you're trying out for the team, and you realize you stink, and they're going to put you at catcher, and you probably won't get more than one
You're
at
gonna
bat.
be right field, and you hope that
Don't hit it to me. Don't hit. Oh shit! Here it comes.
You just hope they have orange bubblicious at the snack shack, so that's the highlight of your day.
It's so specific. So you guys were very close to 99.
Yeah.
And mine's 90, and it definitely has a lighter proof. It has a lighter taste to it.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like we drank them in the right order.
Yeah.
Like Gabe's and me were kind of strong, and now it's like, all right, I need one more at the end of the night. Let me get the
Yeah.
90 proof one.
Yeah, it's nice. So that's kind of what I did. And we talked about how Michter's is like that. You can drink the Michter's because it's a little bit lower proof and drink it at the end of the night and not feel like you're so heavy and you're going to just go die into
All
a
right,
coma.
You made a session infinity bottle.
Yeah.
Let me ask a question, everybody. Let's put your vanity aside. What's your favorite of the three? Dre, let's start with you. Which one did you like best?
I like the first one. I love the burns.
I
And
think she's a Bernie Sanders fan. She likes Bernie, anything burning. She's all over it. I made that up. I don't know.
I'm burning for you.
She's like, I don't know that song either.
I'm burning up for your love. That was a little
Wait,
Madonna.
thank you.
We'll wait for all the crickets to settle down. So that's great. So you like Gabe's, which is
Yeah,
awesome.
I did.
Yeah, right. Scott, what about you?
Well, honestly, I really like mine, of course, because I curated it to be this, but I do wish it was a higher proof. I really love the flavor of this, but both of yours were more complex than mine. Gabe's, I think, is the most complex, but of course it has like 87 whiskeys in it, so it's going to be more complex. And Ed's is a delicious bourbon with enough complexity in it to say this is something a little bit special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think they all have their merits. I think they all have their place.
Yeah.
Sometimes you want just a little bit of something to mellow out. Sometimes you want
Yeah.
to get your hit
Get
on.
your motor running.
and get their
Head on the highway.
So what you're saying now, Gabe?
But you're gonna make it happen.
You know what? Even though yours is a lower proof, Scott, it's
Learn yours.
It's holding on.
It's quite good.
It doesn't drop off at
It
all.
has a good burn.
So Ed, which one is your favorite?
Gabe's is the most complex. And maybe even his is the best one. I'd like to have mine once in a while, but my favorite of the day is yours, Scott.
Oh, wow.
I would want to drink yours every day. I'd want to have mine every now and then, and Gabe's on my birthday.
Well, I mean, I gave you the first taste for free. So if you come over and it's still there, it's going to cost you.
$20 a pour.
It's moments like that I wish I had like a little ball peen hammer to just reach over like, because his bottle's in range. It just smash it right in front of him and just be like,
Oh,
except that would be like a
That's so
serious,
much bourbon down the
that'd be
drain.
a felony of the first degree of the whiskey world.
oh, that's tragic.
That really would. But what's really surprising is Ed and I have done 3 Infinity bottles and then 2 curated of our own. Gabe has done 4 total. 1 was Irish, and then he did 3 other ones. Every one of them was worth doing.
Yeah, so we're going to stop doing it now.
Yeah.
Guys,
We're never doing it again.
Well, just because, maybe we'll do it again like 2 years from now. Or something.
No.
Random belligerents. We're never doing this again. Edition.
No, we won't. Okay, we've been through this. Now, are you going to say something else?
I got a new bar, so I'll be taking some samples
Dre,
home.
this is me and Ed doing a normal thing. It's nothing personal. We get into it, and
Dre, help me.
Dre, I'm scared.
we could do this again because it's a good idea.
But I think we're not going to do it on the podcast for a while. We've done it 4 times. It's like we've covered it. If you haven't tried it yet, you're not going to. So I think we've made it clear to you that this is something that is fun to do. I have 50 bottles in my house. I go through a lot of whiskey. I have 16 open bottles in my house right now. So if you drink whiskey like we do, then this is a great thing to do.
And if you do it, please send us an email to whiskeytangent@gmail.com and tell us the whiskeys that you put in your Infinity bottle and how it came out.
and a sample.
And send us a sample in the mail.
Right.
Thank you, Dre.
Right. And like at least 100 milliliters of it. So me and Scott can taste it. That's it. All right. So if you haven't tried this at home, this is our last time telling you. Go do it.
Do it. Don't be a little bitch.
Oh, wow.
Exactly. Perfectly said, Dre. I couldn't have said it better myself. So for the Whiskey Tangent Podcast, I'm Ed.
I'm Scott.
I'm Gabe.
Dre.
Cheers, everybody.
Later.